What's up guys and welcome to my channel, Flame4. In this issue 83 from Builder DeLorean from Back to the Futures, we're going to be doing the cylinders and components. Yes, I called it cylinders and components because I feel like Eaglemoss are getting lazy and just calling everything engine surround. So I wanted to make it a little more detailed. So you need to make sure you get all your pieces out. You need to have the cartridges, you need to have some mesh, some cylinders, a base, blue storage units, some wires, a pipe, a wire loop, a tab, another tab, 6 AP screws and 3 AM screws and 8 MP screws. And the first thing that we're going to do is wrap that wire, the 83C mesh, around the cylinder. So once you've done that, you will need to secure it with those tiny little MP screws into place like so. I do a mod on this later on, so I will show you how to do that. If you obviously are subscribed to the channel, you better see that video coming up very soon. And then what you want to do is go onto the second cylinder and do the same thing, wrap the mesh around and hold them together with 2 MP screws. Once you've done that, you will need to attach it to the base. The base is 83F and that's held together by 2 AP screws and should look a little something like that. If yours is like that, then you are on the right track. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to attach those wire mesh cylinders to the base itself. So that's the engine surround. That is held on by an AP screw as well. As you can see there, just in place there. So, I mean, to be fair, this is coming together really well. This has actually been one of my most enjoyable parts to put together, the engine surround, because there's so many detailed components on there. It's really good. So the next thing we need to do is put together 83G, which is already complete, which is the blue cylinders there, and that is held in by, again, another AP screw. So there is a locating lug, and then obviously once you've located the locating lugs, the AP screw just slots into the middle there and then allows you to hold it all together, which is just enough that we need, and then all that will be tucked up and hidden underneath where we won't have to see it. Right, so moving on, we will need to do the wires. So these little red wires with the little sort of like coils on the front of them, they will attach on top of the blue cylinder on the right hand side, and they again are held in by 2 MP screws, as you can see there. So they're 83H, and you just want to just sort of like trail it out the way for now. We will be tucking this up and underneath, but we won't be doing that right now. So right guys, so once you've done that, you will just need to move on to the second cylinder. So the second cylinder is another 2 red wires with the coils, and that's attached onto the second blue cylinder, and then also held together by the 2 MP screws. And then that just follows down and goes through that hole and next to those silver blocks. So if you can see those silver blocks there on the left hand side, the wires just tuck in under there, and that's where they'll go for now until we move on to the next stage. So there you have it. Right. So moving on again, what we need to do is we need to get this long piece of wire and sort of thread it through into the hole. So there's like a long piece of wire. I kind of twisted mine around because obviously I like it to look really neat as I can. And that's held down by 83J, and that's sort of like a silver sort of tab, and that's held in by 2 AM screws. That's, you know, it's a piece that sort of just holds them all together just to stop them moving about. So the next thing we need to do is quite an easy piece. We'll just quickly go ahead and do this. So there you go. So you need to put the little tab underneath. So the little tab underneath holds all the wires together. So let's say it's quite an easy piece to do. That is 83I, I think it's called, and that's held down by an AM screw. It just kind of makes the wires neat. So all those 3 wires, the curled wires and all the 4 red wires, they just tuck under there, and then they're just held down with that little tab. Just makes it look really nice and neat. Right, so once we've done that, we're going to do another nice easy piece, which is this, I don't know what they call it, maybe like a piece of piping, you know, so basically, so it's 83A, and all it does is pushes into place in the 3 little holes, and once that's pushed down, it just sort of neatens it up. I'm guessing it's kind of like some sort of wiring to do with maybe tubing, something like that. I'm not too sure what you call most of these things on this engine surround. They just, I guess, just make the DeLorean what it is. There you go. So that just sits into place like that. So you shouldn't be able to get this wrong. You can't get it around the wrong way because obviously it just pushes into the only holes that are there. Right, so when we do the cylinders, we need to piece them together. So you just push 83C into 83B, and then you put it onto the engine surround like so, and then you will just screw that up underneath. I have done a painting video on how to paint these. I've done mine quite a bright green because I'm kind of going for the Parsifal from Ready Player One. So I'm going to go for that kind of look when I do my DeLorean, because obviously I love that book and I love the DeLorean in that. So that's why I want it nice and bright and kind of funky like the movie is. So when you've done that, a nice easy bit is just to twist the wire around. You kind of do like a standard knot, but not pull it too tight, do a loose knot, and then just lay it over the top how it shows you in the diagram, just like so. So if yours looks like that, guys, then you are on to the right track. And you know, I just can't wait to get continue this build, keep building and making it look as good as it should be. And with all the modifications coming out, I have a lot of Mike Lane mods to do. You know, this is going to be like one of the best DeLoreans out there. It's just so good, really is. Right, so we'll have a quick look through the magazine. The magazine says "Take off at the drive-in," so it just shows you a few bits about the you know, the costumes that are in the movie itself. It goes on. It doesn't give you too much detail in these books, but you know, it gives you enough to sort of like get you through the magazine. And then in the next one, we're going to be doing more of the engine base. So I can't wait, guys. It's going to be good. We are going to be doing that next. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.